in the rat race? You work hard, get your paycheck, pay the bills, then do it all over again next month? What if I told you that everything you've learned about money is wrong? That's exactly what Robert Kiyosaki discovered in his eye-opening book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Today, we're going to break the rules together. Hey, my friend, have you ever had that moment when you realize everything you learned about money was dead wrong? Picture this: a 9-year-old kid named Robert Kiyosaki, sitting between his real dad, a highly educated government employee, and his best friend's dad, an uneducated but successful businessman. One says, study hard, get a secure job, while the other whispers, a job is the fastest road to poverty. That's the spark that set off a financial revolution and changed millions of lives. Let's start with the core. The myth of my home is my best investment. Poor Dad was proud of his house. He saw it as his greatest achievement. But Rich Dad explained it with a simple example. Imagine David buys an apartment for $210,000. Every month, he pays $1,000 for the mortgage, $130 for maintenance, and $185 for utilities. That's $1,315 coming out of his pocket every month. That's a liability, not an asset. Now, look at Mary. She buys a small kiosk in a market for $53,000 and rents it out for $900 a month. That's a real asset because it puts money into her pocket with zero effort. The difference isn't the price, it's the direction of cash flow. And here comes the second shock. Why don't the rich chase paychecks? Rich Dad taught Robert a game they never teach in schools. Make every dollar give birth to more dollars. How? Picture this real-life scene. Max, a full-time employee, works 10 hours a day and earns $4,000 a month. After taxes and expenses, he takes home around $2,800. Meanwhile, Sarah, a stay-at-home mom, invested $2,700 selling accessories on Instagram. She makes $800 profit every month. After a year, she hired someone to manage the account and now earns $1,300 passively without lifting a finger. Now ask yourself, who controls their time? That's the heart of the lesson. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. But how is it that a doctor earning $13,000 a month is drowning in debt, while a plumber owns multiple properties? The secret is financial education, the very thing our school system completely ignores. Robert exposes this flaw. Schools train you to trade time for money, a job, but they never teach you how to turn your salary into assets, how to use taxes to your advantage like the wealthy do. For example, buying a car under a business name to get tax deductions. How to read a financial statement so banks can't trick you. Imagine this. Brian, an engineer, inherits $300,000. He buys a luxury car and a fancy condo. 2 years later, he's broke and in debt. Meanwhile, Lisa, a teacher, takes just $30,000 to start a small daycare from her home. Within 2 years, it grows into a successful chain. Money never stays with those who don't speak the language of numbers. And now, for the greatest lesson, escaping the rat race. This famous term describes the cycle. Work, paycheck, bills, debt, more work. The solution? Build your own passive income wheel. Let's break it down. 1. Start small. Spot a need around you. For example, Mike noticed a lack of meal delivery services for seniors in his neighborhood, so he started with just his bike. 2. Turn profits into assets. Every extra $300 you earn, don't blow it on gadgets or luxuries. Use it to buy assets like dividend-paying stocks or a vending machine. 3. Repeat until your passive income, your monthly expenses. That's when you achieve financial freedom. Ever heard of David's story? He worked a $2,000 per month job. On the side, he started selling honey online. 3 years later, his passive income hit $3,000 per month. He quit his job and opened a small factory. You don't need big capital to start, just a different mindset. I know what you're thinking right now, but taxes will eat up my profits. Well, here's the wealthy's secret they call the tax game. Employees, they pay taxes first, directly deducted from their paycheck, then spend what's left. Business owners, they spend first on their business and only pay taxes on what's left over. A real-life example. Nadia runs her own business. She made $13,000, spent $8,000 on growing her business, which is tax deductible, so she only pays tax on the remaining $5,000. Meanwhile, her husband, an employee, earns $6,500 a month, but $1,300 in taxes is gone before he even sees his paycheck. Then he spends a $5,200 left. The difference? Nadia invested $8,000 into building more assets. Taxes punish employees, but reward the financially smart. And let's forget that big lie. Money is evil. Rich Dad shouted to Robert, "No, ignorance about money is the real evil." Look at this contrast. Poor Dad says, "We can't afford that. We're not rich." A closed mindset. Rich Dad asks, "How can we afford it?" A problem-solving mindset. Imagine Jason wants to join a training course that costs $1,300. The poor mindset says, "That's too expensive. I don't have the money." The wealthy mindset says, "I'll teach 5 people a skill I know for $260 each." And boom, I've got the cash. Poverty starts in the mind long before it hits the wallet. So does that mean you should quit your job tomorrow? No. The book actually lays out a step-by-step plan. Step 1. Develop side skills like sales, marketing, and negotiation. Step 2. Start a small project without quitting your job. Step 3. Turn your profits into income-generating assets. Step 4. Once your passive income exceeds 120% of your expenses, congratulations, you're financially free. Always remember what Rich Dad said. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and how many generations benefit from it. So my friend, the real question isn't, do you have enough money? It's, do you have a plan to turn today's hard work into tomorrow's freedom? Start right now. 1. Grab a sheet of paper and write, "My current assets, everything that brings in money." 2. Then write, "My current liabilities, everything that takes money out." 3. Set a goal. How will you add one new asset this month? Even if it's small. Wealth isn't luck. It's a mind game with rules you can learn. So be the player, not the piece. And to wrap it up, don't wait for the perfect moment. Rich Dad always said, failure is part of the game, but the biggest failure is never starting. Tell me in the comments, what's the first asset you're going to add to your life this month? And because your financial journey is better with friends, hit that subscribe button and share this video with your crew. Let's build wealth together that no crisis can sink.